Attention passionate Atlanta Falcons fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends in Atlanta Falcons fans. Let's get to the news. So, here we are, guys, in the thick of NFL offseason buzz. And let me tell you, the Atlanta Falcons are right at the heart of some pretty intriguing rumors that could reshape their defense and, consequently, their entire strategy for the upcoming season. Now, I know the Falcons had a roller coaster year in 2024. And everyone knows that their defense was a bit of a weak point last season, especially when it came to pressuring the quarterback and stopping the run. But the latest whispers suggest that Atlanta might just be on the verge of making a bold move to change that narrative, and I'm talking about the potential acquisition of none other than Trey Hendrickson, that elite pass rusher who's been making waves in Cincinnati for a few seasons now. Now, let's back up a little bit and look at the context. The Bengals, as you know, are in a bit of a transitional phase. They're trying to keep their core intact, especially on the offensive side, with long-term extensions for T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, which kind of signals their intent to build around those young stars. But on the defensive front, things are a little more uncertain, particularly when it comes to their pass rush. Trey Hendrickson has been a key element for Cincinnati's defense over the past few years. His ability to generate pressure off the edge and accumulate sacks has been vital for them. And, of course, with his contract situation, there's been a lot of talk about whether he'll stay or if he might be moved before the season begins. Here's where things get interesting for Falcons fans. Hendrickson, at 31, is still a highly productive player, even if he's not quite in his prime anymore. Last season, he recorded 7.5 sacks, which is impressive considering the overall struggles Cincinnati faced on defense. More than just the stats, it's his relentless motor, his ability to win one-on-one matchups against offensive tackles, and his experience in high-pressure situations that make him such a valuable commodity. The Bengals have reportedly been open to trading him, especially since they're focusing on extending other key players. And that's where the rumors about Atlanta come in. There's a belief among some NFL analysts, like Steve Bradshaw from TWSN, that the Falcons could be a perfect landing spot for Hendrickson. Why? Well, because Atlanta's defense in 2024 was, frankly, a disappointment. They ranked 24th in points allowed per game, giving up nearly 25 points on average. That's not the kind of number you want when you're trying to compete in the NFC South, a division that's only getting tougher with teams like Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Carolina all looking to improve. Hendrickson's addition could be a game-changer. Imagine him lining up opposite Grady Jarrett, creating that edge pressure that so many defenses in the league crave. But, of course, it's not just about what Hendrickson can bring on the field. It's also about the cost. And here's where things get tricky. The Bengals are asking for a first-round pick in return, which makes this deal quite expensive. For a team like Atlanta, that's a significant investment, especially considering the contract extension that would follow. Hendrickson, in recent years, has been paid well, and the Falcons would need to be ready to commit to a sizable deal to keep him in Atlanta long-term. That's a concern for many, especially given the franchise's previous experiences with aging pass rushers. Remember when they traded for Matthew Judon last year? They learned some lessons about making deals for veteran players heading into the later stages of their careers. And that's what makes this rumor so fascinating but also so unlikely. The Falcons' front office is pragmatic, and they've made it clear they're cautious about giving up too much for a player who's already in his 30s. Plus, the Bengals are reportedly still negotiating with Hendrickson about a potential extension, which means a trade might not even happen if they reach an agreement. If Cincinnati's asking price drops or if Hendrickson expresses a desire to stay, then the Falcons' chances of landing him diminish even further. It's a classic case of supply and demand. And right now, Cincinnati holds the cards. But imagine if this deal did go through. The Falcons would be adding a proven pass rusher, a player capable of changing the game with a single sack, and that could have a ripple effect on the entire defense. It would also send a message to the league and to their division rivals that Atlanta is serious about competing right now, not just building for the future but trying to win in the present. That kind of attitude could energize the team, boost the confidence of the young players, and possibly even shift the power dynamics within the NFC South. Now, let's talk about what this means for the Falcons' overall defensive strategy. Last season, they struggled to get consistent pressure on the quarterback, which led to a lot of third and long situations and, ultimately, more points allowed. Hendrickson's presence would help alleviate some of that pressure, allowing the Falcons' secondary to play more aggressively and forcing opposing quarterbacks into hurried throws. It's not just about sacks. It's about disrupting the timing of the offense, creating turnovers, and getting the ball back to the offense faster. The Falcons invested heavily in their offensive line in recent drafts, so complementing that with a fierce pass rush could be the missing piece to turn this team into a legitimate playoff contender. And speaking of the offseason, Atlanta has been active in shaping their roster, making strategic moves to improve their defense without overspending. While they haven't yet made a blockbuster trade, the possibility of adding someone like Hendrickson keeps fans excited and hopeful. It's a reminder that the Falcons are aggressive when it comes to adding talent. Even if the deal seems steep, they're willing to pay the price if it means winning now, which is exactly the mindset you want from a team looking to make that next leap into serious playoff contention. What's also worth mentioning is that the Falcons' coaching staff, led by head coach Arthur Smith, is known for their creative defensive schemes. With Hendrickson's skill set, they could deploy him in ways that maximize his pass rushing potential, maybe even lining him up in different spots to keep offenses guessing. His versatility as an edge rusher would be a huge asset, especially if he can stay healthy and continue to produce at a high level. Considering how the Falcons finished the season, showing flashes of brilliance but lacking consistency, adding someone like Hendrickson could be the spark that ignites their pass rush and helps them become a more well-rounded, formidable defense. And let's not forget the division implications. The NFC South is no longer a one-team race. Tampa Bay, with their veteran quarterback and strong defense, is still a threat. New Orleans is always competitive, especially if they make some moves to bolster their roster. And Carolina, with their young quarterback and improving defense, is on the rise. For Atlanta, making a move for a player like Hendrickson could be a strategic step to prevent their division rivals from getting stronger and to establish their dominance in the NFC South. It's about sending a message, about showing that Atlanta is here to compete and win, not just build for the future but to contend right now. Now, wrapping things up, it's clear that while a trade for Hendrickson makes a lot of sense on paper, there are still hurdles to clear. The high asking price from Cincinnati, the team's ongoing negotiations for an extension, and Atlanta's cautious approach to big money moves all point to this being a long shot. But in the NFL, Things can change rapidly. If Cincinnati's asking price drops or if they find themselves in a position where they're willing to listen to offers, the Falcons could swoop in and make it happen. It's a fascinating possibility, and one that could completely alter the Falcons' defensive outlook for 2025 and beyond. So, Falcons fans, keep your eyes peeled because this offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. A potential addition like Hendrickson could be the piece that takes them from a decent team to a legitimate playoff contender. And I know you're all eager to see what moves Atlanta makes next. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and let's hope that this story develops further in the coming weeks. The NFL offseason is full of surprises, and the Falcons are right in the middle of it, ready to make some noise. Pause here, just for a second, if you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you. It's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think trading for Trey Hendrickson would be the right call for the Falcons? Would it help them finally break through that playoff barrier and compete at the highest level? Or do you think the cost is just too high, and they should look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. We love hearing your insights. And I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis about the Atlanta Falcons and the NFL in general. So, stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the Falcons spirit alive as we head into what promises to be an exhilarating off-season. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!